Are you feeling a little worn out as we wrap up 2025? Let's finish the year feeling strong instead of stressed. We're sharing 5 simple habits, from better sleep and hydration to mindset and movement, that will help you manage stress, boost energy, and end the year on a high note. This list of habits is meant to meet you where you are and can be customized to what you feel is truly doable for you personally. Let's dive into 5 to Thrive.
Hey there, and welcome to Life Beyond the Scale, the show for busy, brilliant women in midlife who are ready to feel stronger, lighter, and more energized without the overwhelm. We are both your hosts and fellow midlife women on a mission to help you take back your body, your mindset, and your momentum, one doable step at a time. And today we're going to do that by talking about something powerful: how to finish your year strong by doing 5 simple challenges. So I'm Jen.
And I'm Erin. Welcome to Beyond the Scale, the podcast.
All right, so let's be honest, Erin. The last few years can feel like a complete blur between the pandemic, travel, fatigue, stress, all the skipped meals, the double workouts, the I'll start again in January mindset. What if we don't have to wait until January to start fresh?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so there could be a million things that we're dealing with right now: career, family, that sandwich generation, maybe aging parents, young children still at home. But we still, as women, want to feel good in our bodies. We want to lose that weight that won't budge. We want to show up with more energy and confidence. And so today we're going to just kind of dig into 5 simple habits. Not a 2 hour workout, not perfection at the dinner table, but just 5 simple things. I think we're calling it a 5 to Thrive, which is not something that Erin and I made up. There you can Google 5 to Thrive and see, information from Tony Robbins, to Rachel Hollis, I think Ed Milet. I mean, the names go on. There's even a 5 for Thrive and when it comes to parenting. But we're just going to look at 5 simple, small, doable behaviors that, what if I committed to these 5 things from now until the end of the year? Which, what are we talking? Like roughly 3 months, 12 weeks, maybe, right around there.
11 weeks when this episode drops, it'll be 11 weeks till the end of the year.
Could we, as a community, commit to these 5 small changes for the next 90 days, 11 weeks and a half or so, to just kind of say, like, I'm proud of myself. I'm going to end the year strong and confident and head into 2026 kind of a new woman, not somebody who's 2 steps behind with 10 extra pounds to lose. Does that sound good?
That does sound good.
So grab your water, take a walk, or settle in with a notebook, because by the end of this episode, you're going to feel fired up and focused, ready to finish the year stronger than it might have started. So let's dive in. Erin, give us the first strategy on our 5 for Thrive.
Our first strategy is to either get up or go to bed earlier, a half an hour each day. So we've kind of left it up to you, whether you are a night owl or you're a morning person, which one would be easier for you to work in. Maybe also considering a digital detox during that time period. Many of us have a terrible habit of waking up, turning our phone alarms off, and automatically picking up our phone and falling down the rabbit hole. So maybe perhaps thinking about if we could add more sleep to our days, more rest, and actually having a little bit less screen time along with that. What do you think, Jen? Do you feel like that's something that would be helpful to you?
Oh, absolutely. Because even though my phone is not necessarily right next to me in bed, I do use it as my alarm. And so even when, we've talked about this, I have my planned snooze. So even when I reach over to hit snooze, it's hard not to notice all the notifications. It's hard not to
Yes.
see a text, a like, a comment, what's going on with the news, the weather alert. And so sometimes that snooze isn't spent sleeping, it's scrolling. And so, yeah, I love this idea of just waking up refreshed, not turning right to, a screen, for a digital screen. For some of us, that might be the television, to hear all of this, but just to be almost like quiet with my own thoughts. I'm more of a night owl, so I'm not sure that I would be a big fan of going to bed earlier, but I like the idea of maybe ditching my snooze and getting up a little bit earlier, but committing to like the first half hour of my morning to be spent doing something besides looking at a screen. What about you?
I too hit the snooze. I'm notorious. My husband jokes about how many alarms go off every morning. He's like, "Which one is that?" I'm like, "Well, that one is to remind me to get up. Oh, and that one's to remind me that I
Yeah,
only have a half an hour left before I need to be out the door." He's
right.
like, "Really?"
This is
Like,
the one to leave for work on time. Well, and we know that sleep is so important, especially at this age, right? It's essential for weight loss and hormone regulation, especially in midlife. But rest helps us stay sharp. It makes helps us to make better food choices, and it helps us to lose that stubborn belly fat because we're not jumping all over with our hormones because maybe we're more rested. And we know that falling asleep on the couch and then having to wake up and go back to the bed and fall back into that routine is doing nothing helpful in our lives. So whether it's going to bed earlier or waking up a little earlier, let's try the digital detox slash, you know, yeah, get more sleep. So that's
love
number
it.
one. And in case I wasn't clear in the intro, let's be very clear. These are suggestions. If you decide to take this and say, I would like to go to bed 5 minutes earlier and wake up 5 minutes earlier, you do you, right? Like the women out here that are listening, everybody is in a different stage. You might have, a newborn in the house, or you might have a partner who works a night shift. Like we understand that everybody's schedules are different, but we're just saying, can we do five semi hard things for the next 90 days? And hopefully sleep will get incorporated into that for some of us.
Number two, 10 minutes of self development each day. So
Ooh.
think reading, prayer, journal, maybe a hobby even, something that you would feel good. Maybe it's something that you're not even doing because you don't even allow yourself that little bit of time, but giving yourself 10 minutes of self-development time per day. And it can be your choice whether it's in the morning or the evening, maybe right before you go to bed or right when you wake up.
That mindset work, because right, like we sometimes think that our health journey is all about the physical, but the mental is so important, right? Like whether it's just relieving some stress or self-doubt or the negative self-talk, this we're constantly sabotaging ourselves. So to agree that I'm worth 10 minutes a day, my mental health is worth 10 minutes a day of resting and finding joy or peace in something uplifting. So this is not your 10 minutes of I'm going to, catch up on world news. That's probably not a helpful thing right now in today's world. This is 10
Right.
minutes of you doing something that you would enjoy that will help lift your spirits, spark a little joy, a little inner peace, whether that's being quiet or being loud. Maybe we're dancing it out. But I love this idea of meditating, praying, Bible devotion, listening to something uplifting, even an audiobook.
What would fill your cup up more? What
Ooh,
would ripple into your day to make you feel better, to make you make better choices?
we trying to pour from an empty cup.
Uh, a lot.
So 10 minutes of just, yeah, self development, mindset work, whatever you want to call it.
Instead of how somebody put it, throttling through my day. And I
Ugh,
was like, "Oh, I know that throttle. I've done
yeah.
that throttle of like you wake up and it's like boom running." And
Yeah.
instead taking a moment just to be at peace.
I know I just said first thing in the morning with this. Honestly, it would probably be much more productive for my mental health if I use that time of day that I already know I struggle, whether it's 3 in the afternoon, 8 p.m. when the kids go to bed. Like, what is your time that you just start to feel burnt out, wore down? hangry, maybe stressed, maybe overwhelmed, and we just want to like give up and do nothing, this is the time to refuel, right? Power up. We're plugging in our phones to make sure they're charged. This is your time to plug in and, get some fresh energy going. But that self development and mental health aspect, 10 minutes a day, I'm worth 10 minutes, right?
Everyone has 10 minutes. No matter how busy you are, everyone has 10 minutes. It's
It's
just
just
a
about
matter of
priorities.
deciding
Yeah.
that you're going to take from something that isn't working and make it into something that will work better for you.
Everything takes sacrifice, right? It'll take a sacrifice to go to bed 10 minutes earlier or wake up 10 minutes earlier or a half hour early. It will take sacrifice to spend 10 minutes on my mindset instead of playing another game on my phone, watching another episode, scrolling. Oh, let's throw that laundry in. Okay. But we don't have to go from thing to thing. I can just I'm worth 10 minutes, even though it might mean prioritizing my mental health over a physical task around the house.
You're more important than the laundry. And let's face it, the laundry will always be there. It never stops. And if you don't stop to take care of yourself, who's
Yeah.
going to end up being able to take care of the laundry in the end? So you have to stop and take care of yourself.
And we know
So
as we're
important.
hitting midlife and the estrogen is dropping, the cortisol is rising. And so we're looking for that feel good dopamine hit. And so often that's when we know we're missing something. We know that we're craving something. We need something to lift us up. And we've been trained and have trained ourselves to go to the vending machine, the pantry, the refrigerator. This is your chance to say, all right, I see you, but I'm not hungry. I need to read, listen, journal, pray. Yeah, power up in a different way, get a different kind of hit for energy.
I love that. Moving on to number 3, drink more water. Or how did you put it? Hydrate more intentionally?
Intentionally, yeah, hydrate intentionally. There's so much research out there about how much water a person needs. And I know some of our listeners are going to be like, but Aaron and Jen, I hate water. We need to be hydrated. And so, as our hormonal changes often lead to bloating and fatigue and cravings, but dehydration makes it all worse. It makes it more intense. So if we can stay hydrated, it'll support our metabolism. It reduces those overeating triggers, where we think we're hungry, but really we're thirsty. It helps our skin, our eyes, right? Like the dry hands, all of those type of things. So whether or not we're trying to hit, maybe a FDA regulation or a suggestion, American Medical Academy suggestion of 64 ounces, or your personal trainer's half your body weight in ounces of water, we're just going to ask for one more glass. One glass, if that's all you're doing now. Maybe you have no water in your life. You are all coffee and Diet Coke. Could you drink one 8-ounce glass of water? And if you are currently drinking water, maybe you're at 24 ounces or maybe you're at 64. Could you add one more to what you're doing currently?
It does. And all of this to me when I look at the numbers is more doable, because I think the reason why so many of us wait till January or wait till next Monday or wait till next month or wait for that perfect time is that whatever it is that we want to do just feels so big. We don't even know where to start. Where with this 5 to thrive, it's keeping the numbers small. If you look at this and you say, this is just too much, I can't do all the things, then pick one. In different chapters of your life, sometimes you have more time, sometimes you don't have any time. We understand that. But these are just some suggestions of places to try, and just try it very small.
We still want you to personalize this into a successful momentum as we are wrapping up the year, because we know the end of the year, we're in the burr months, right? Like October, November, December. Not only it does the weather change and we start to cover up and hide and want to be cozy and warm and not move, we can hide our bodies a little better in the burr months and the warmer clothes. But we're also tempted by all of the holidays and eating opportunities that are coming this time of year. So let's just stay hydrated along the way and remind ourselves that maybe I'm not hungry, maybe I just need a little thirst, and I will keep, especially for that brain fatigue. So just a little bit more water, whatever works for you.
Number 4 is my personal favorite. Give up one food that isn't serving
Ooh.
you. Kind of thinking like along the lines of Lent. And I'm going to give you a hint. Mine isn't actually a food.
Oh.
Mine, when I thought about this, I'm going to give up my Saturday night old fashioned
Oh.
because I realize that that old fashioned is not serving my sleep at all. As a menopausal woman, if I drink, I don't sleep. And if I don't sleep, you better
Yes.
look out.
Right.
It's
It
it's
affects
not
the
pretty.
next day so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's going to be the Saturday night old fashioned is what I've decided that I'm going
Mm.
to give up. The world will not end. I mean, if I'm hungry, that's not something I'm going to miss. Yes, I enjoy it, but it's not something that's so hard. Is there anything that you think that you're having right
Mm.
now that really isn't serving you that maybe if by taking it away for a time period, it might help
Mm.
you in other ways?
Right now, off the top of my head, I am not ready to commit to that. However, when I probably should have been prepared before we recorded, right? But this is I did a Five for Thrive. I bet about 10 years ago now, around 2015, 2016, and that is when I gave up Diet Coke. I know that I drank Diet Coke a lot. I drank Diet Coke enough that the young man at McDonald's knew my order when I got there, and that my kids would tease me or tease my husband. Hey, how come, this guy says, "Hi, Jen, Diet Coke with lemon," every time my car would pull into the drive through. So, nothing wrong with it for those of you who enjoy a good McDonald's Diet Coke. However, I knew it wasn't serving me. I knew it was replacing my breakfast. So I was starting my day with no energy, just a caffeine hit. I knew that I wanted it often every time I started to feel a little wore down or angry or frustrated with, six young kids. Pack them in the car, we'd go to McDonald's, right? Like it would just be this drive through. So I was also kind of training my body to turn to Diet Coke when I felt overwhelmed. And it felt similar to what I would imagine an addiction of a different substance to be like. And so, nothing wrong with Diet Coke, although I know there are many friends of mine that were constantly giving me research on the why I should have given up Diet Coke for my health. This was me giving it up because I saw it starting to feel controlling. I also had a hard time not adding fries when I went through the drive-through or adding a treat for the kids. And I almost started to think that was I teaching the children that when they were overwhelmed, we got in the car and went to McDonald's. So after I did that, Five to Thrive, gave up my Diet Coke for 90 days, had all intentions of coming back and having it again. And instead, I remember waking up with like one day left to be like, huh, I wonder if I could go another week. And I just slowly added on 7 days, 7 days. And now in 10 years, I've had a few sips of Diet Coke. But, and yeah, but I can't believe how 90 days changed the taste of it for me, the flavor. It didn't give me that same joy that I thought it was giving me. Right. And so
Yeah.
whether it's your old fashioned, if it's giving you the relaxation, but ultimately it's not, if it's keeping you awake, ultimately it's not, if you're a big crab the next day. This I'm gonna have to think of, but yeah, what's one food or drink that we are leaning into that is not serving us, and could I give it up? We're not saying no junk food for the next 90 days, no
Right.
baked goods, no, grandma's Christmas fudge, or maybe you even just have a rule around it. Can you only get that Krispy Kreme donut if the light's on and it's fresh? Can you only eat, the cotton candy or the fudge if it's homemade from grandma, not the store bought? Maybe you need a
Mm.
little maybe you need a little rule, a little justification in there. Or can you say for 90 days, I'm a grown up, I can suck it up. and I can say no to this one thing.
I think we've left it open to interpretation, which is
Yeah.
important because we don't want you to try to do something that you think there's no way I can do it. Figuring out what is truly doable, but also stretching yourself a little bit to be like, what is it that's actually not serving me and causing me not to be as healthy as I want to be or make my health goals? Anyone and everyone out there has can think of at least one thing that they're probably eating, drinking, or doing that it probably isn't serving them. So thinking about, hey, 90 days, maybe you
Mhm.
just start with, can I just start for a day? What would it be like if I just start for a day? So, number five, final five, add movement 5 minutes to either adding movement 5 minutes to start or adding another 5 minutes to whatever you're already doing. So, if you're somebody who isn't active at all, start with 5 minutes. If you are somebody who's active, you're just adding 5 more minutes to whatever you're doing. What do you think? You think that's doable?
Oh, for sure. I mean, 5 minutes again. And some of these could be multitasked, right? Like maybe I'm listening to that self help book, or, my scripture reading is audio while I'm on a 5 minute walk. Maybe you're listening to this on your 5 minute walk, or 5 minutes of strength training. All movement counts, but muscle loss starts to accelerate during our midlife as our metabolism is slowing down and we tend to sit more. I mean, our body actually does want to develop muscle and it wants to be strong. But as our bones are weakening and as our muscles are weakening, our metabolism is slowing. And so, even light movement is going to help boost fat loss, boost your mood, boost your energy. So, whether you're going to the gym or you're just using some, you know, stretching motions on a towel in your living room, 5 minutes of intentional movement every day, or 5 more minutes on top of what you're currently doing. Can you speak to that? Like, if I'm already exercising most days, why should I add 5 minutes?
Because what happens with activity is your body becomes used to a certain level. There's that baseline. And I think of this one nurse that I knew who her normal steps per day were like 20 to 30,000 steps.
Wow.
And she said, I don't understand why that's not enough to lose weight. And I said, well, how long have you been doing this? And she's like, I've been a nurse for 25 years. And I'm like, it's because your body has been doing
Yeah.
this long that it doesn't, this is what it just does. This is what it keeps the engine moving, but it isn't enough to burn the fat and
Yeah.
calories. So we're stretching a little bit further to see what your body can do. And I mean a little bit further, not anything crazy, because we all know sometimes we take on too many things. We go a little bit too far and we can injure ourselves. 5 more minutes of a walk, 5 more minutes on the treadmill, 5 more minutes of stretching, 5 more minutes of the pickleball game. Hey, let's throw one more out.
5 different commercials throughout your day, right? We're not even saying these have to be consecutive. Could you just get up one commercial per hour and march in place so that we're not sitting? Let that blood and oxygen flow to your brain and to your heart and through your lungs and your extremities. Being intentional about it keeps the brain engaged. So, your nurse friend, she's not paying attention to how many steps she took during the day. She's chasing after patients and making sure everybody's taken care of. That really isn't her focusing on how strong her body is or how relaxed it is or how capable it is. And so we would love it to hear, like, what can you do for 5 little minutes if you're just starting out, or 5 extra minutes throughout the day for the next 90 days.
Yes. And so we would like to invite you to comment below and let us know which one of these kind of spoke to you. Which one feels most doable? Or do you feel like, you know what, hey, I could do all five of those? That definitely feels like something that's not too crazy. We want to know what interests you. What do you think about this? And will you be able to do that?
And through this, even if you choose, which we hope you do, choose to do all five to thrive, this is kind of giving you permission to set aside some of the other things that we feel are so overwhelming during the holidays. Right? Like, maybe I'm not journaling my food as accurately. Maybe I'm not, making sure that I don't know, have a gift for everybody on my list right now. But this is just 5 things for me to end the year strong instead of waking up January 1st and saying, all right, here we go again. What am I going to work on? And now I'm starting from scratch with all of these healthy habits or behaviors. If you subscribe to our Facebook or Instagram channel, we will make sure that there is a highlight available with a little freebie if you would like to track your 5 to Thrive. I'll leave some blank spaces so that you can add in exactly what your 5 intentional choices will be, but I'll also put our description of the 5 that Aaron and I have developed for you, if that would be helpful. Some of us like to check things off. And if you miss a day, you didn't screw up. We're not asking you to start over. We know life is hard. This is new. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's still better than what we were doing before when we weren't doing it at all.
That's a really good point. If you're not doing any of these things, it might feel a little challenging, but not so challenging that it's going to take you hours a day to do this, but it might be something for you to consider.
All right, friends, so there's your 5 to Thrive. Simple, doable, and designed to support your body, your mind, and your goals in this powerful season of life that we call midlife. So we're going to drink our water intentionally, hydrate intentionally. We're going to move our body. We're going to wake up or go to bed and focus on our sleep a little bit more. We are going to ditch that food or drink that is not serving us. And we are going to guard our mindset with some type of self-help. And we're going to do some type of self-development or, mindset moments during these next few weeks. You don't need to be perfect. You just have to be present. One small win at a time adds up to big change. So if today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to take one simple step. Screenshot this episode, share it with your friend, post it on Instagram, tag Life Beyond the Scale so that we can cheer you on. And if you want to go deeper, go check out our 5 to Thrive tracker to help you stay consistent throughout the rest of the year. You can grab it on the link below in our show notes. Otherwise, if nobody has told you this today, you are strong and you are capable, and it's not too late. Your health isn't behind you, it's waiting ahead.
Thanks for tuning in today. If you've made it this far, we so appreciate it. And corner, we've got Jen's coaching corner coming up next, so stay tuned.
Happy fall, y'all. It's me, Jen. I'm coming at you today with 3 strategies on how to control the Halloween candy urges. Now, if you're like me and you're trying to stay true to your health goals, but now here's this whole entire holiday that just revolves around handing out candy and receiving candy, then we might need some help. Strategy number 1. It's so simple, yet often we forget it. Let the store it for you. You know that people who buy their Halloween candy early in October tend to have to buy it 3 times? That's right. By buying it too early, we end up going through it way before we get ready to put this bucket of candy out for the cute little trick-or-treaters. Step 2, out of sight, out of mind. Oftentimes, our environment affects our choices. So if that candy has been calling your name, it's time to put it away. Bring it back out right before those trick-or-treating hours start in your neighborhood. Strategy number 3, purchase items that you're not going to be tempted by. Just in case there's leftovers, they won't be sitting there calling your name, or every time the doorbell rings, it won't be a couple for the kids and one for you. One extra tip here: give generously. We don't need to be handing 1 or 2 pieces out in hopes that we'll have enough. This is not our first Halloween. You know how many trick-or-treaters are going to stop by your neighborhood. So when those cute little ghosts and goblins come knocking at the door, give generously so that there's not a lot of leftovers. If any of these help, or you have some strategies of your own, I'd love to see them in the comments below. Till next time, I can't wait to hear what your strategies are.